everybody, this is Rich Hanlin with Xpert Home Lending. Just putting together some ideas. You know what? I've had to make the decision to basically stop limiting my conversations to individuals and see if I can't have conversations that can maybe get out to more people. I have a lot of people calling me from the broker world who are about ready to throw in the towel, to the loan originators, to real estate agents. A lot of people know my story. Some people don't, but I thought I'd share it. Maybe it adds a little validity to let you know that I'm still here. I'm still kicking it. But basically, I've titled this, Get Out of Your Own Way. You're going to hear me make a lot of mistakes. You're going to see that I didn't plan on making a video today. And look, I wore my Atlanta Braves uniform shirt today because it's comfortable. And hey, the Braves won last night, so I was in a good Braves mood today. But I just was driving in today, and I've had some crazy conversation. I just made the decision, maybe there's someone out there that needs to hear something that I might have to say. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot, and maybe there's some words of wisdom I can give you to help you make it through another day. If you don't know my story, I started September 1st, 1991. Into the mortgage business. I became a loan processor. I started at the bottom, worked my way up from the bottom. I call that the bottom at the industry at that time. That would have been considered, an admin position. I worked my way up to an operations manager of what was then one of the biggest California mortgage brokerages called Sacramento Home Loans. I did that for about 8 years of my life. I was running the company, and I thought, you know what? I'm at a point, why don't I just activate my broker's license and maybe go try this on my own? I'm doing everything. Why not add in my own version? So I got started in the industry, had a couple different companies over the years, got to the 2008 at that point in time. I was very happy. I had an office with probably about 10 loan originators. I was very happy. We had a great thing going on. I enjoyed going to work every day. But we specialized in refinances. I didn't do purchases. Maybe on a personal level, but as a company, I was a lead company. I gave leads. I had a higher split, and that's how I came into the industry. So that's how I knew the industry. Let's talk about what happened. Things started slowing down. I was heavily invested in real estate, had a couple houses. My company was in real estate, obviously. And guess what? Value started to go down quickly. I don't know if you remember, we had what's called the implode meter, daily updates of lenders that were imploding. Well, brokers were going down twice as fast. You would take an application, you'd get an appraisal, you'd go to close, and they would ask the appraiser to give a recommendation of what the current value was. And if it went down, they weren't letting the loans go through. It was going down quickly. So I'm going to get to my point here. Here's the thing. I went from being $1 million a year company at the time to out of business in 6 months. Let's just say it like it is. I went on to lose every bit of real estate I had. I went on to file bankruptcy December of 2008. And thank God for bankruptcy, because it gave me a chance to start over. I went from $1 million earner to $27,000 with USAA, trying to offer people insurance on their house, car, boat, and that stuff. I'm not ashamed to say that because I did what I had to do. My wife went back to work. Both of us combined were making about $55,000. We lost everything except for our pride. We were humbled, but when I say we didn't lose our pride, we found a lot at the bottom that reminded us of where we came from, who we were, and we worked our way out and we worked our way forward. We didn't stop. We didn't give up. I kept my licenses during a 6-year period. I think I added up the other day, maybe it was 5 years. I worked 7 jobs in 5 years before I reopened a mortgage company called Answer Home Loans. During that time, I got to go through my head all the things I had done wrong, all the things I had done right, all the things I could have done better, all the people I could have helped through those hard times had I been able to hold that company together. I didn't screw anybody over. It was just the market at the time. I offered loans that were available from lenders to people, and that's how we did business. But one of the things I learned during that time was I didn't want to be a refinance only shop. I felt that there were purchases at any given time. No matter what the market is, even if there's a hardship, at somebody's hardship creates somebody else's opportunity. And we're starting to get into that particular platform right now. I don't like that platform because people I know are getting crushed by this platform, this current financial situation here in the United States. I also learned how to save my rear end off. I learned how to live off about 10 to 20% of what I make, which means that I don't drive the nicest car. I don't carry a lot of debt. I don't carry a lot of personal debt because, hey, I need to be able to maneuver, and I don't like being in a corner. I don't like the creditors calling me all times a day, letting me know that I'm late yet again. Been through that, done that, decided I didn't like it. It wasn't good for my family. It wasn't good for my marriage. What am I getting at? We made changes. I took on a partner at the next company, Answer Home Loans, and together we grew a company that became a top 10 national mortgage brokerage. One time we were doing 850 deals a month. Great people. I'm still very proud of that company. I outgrew that particular company in the sense that I wanted to go national. I wanted to do things a little different with what energy I still had. And so I had some different ideas. And so I went on to start another company with what turned out to be 6 partners, where I'm one of those partners. I'm the responsible broker now of Xpert Home Lending. I think last count, 448 loan originators and growing in 44 states. We're funding a little over 400 transactions per month in the middle of a crappy recession because guess what? The numbers may sound good, but we're averaging about 1 funding per licensee, maybe a little less than that. I'm very proud of that in this market. It just is what it is. But that doesn't solve the problem because I'm only as strong as my weakest loan originator. And a lot of people don't want to talk like that, but that's how I feel. I got that from the United States Air Force Academy. My oldest son went there, but they talk about the anchor. The anchor is the lowest person graduating in that graduating class, but he or she is just as strong with that degree coming out of there to go on and do great things. I am not blessed with a high-end education. I graduated from Cal State San Bernardino in 1989 with a bachelor's in business administration with an emphasis in finance and went right out. I got drafted by the Seattle Mariners that year, and I played 1 year of minor league baseball. I signed a $500 signing bonus and a plane ticket up to the Northwest League. I was a starving college student, and I quickly became a starving minor league baseball player. Love baseball, but it's really hard to play when you can't even keep weight on. Top ramen and baseball don't mix. Needless to say, it was a great experience, but I had a job offer going into spring training from a company that I knew I could make a career out of. It was called the Edison Company down in Southern California. Electrical company. I knew people there that had done very good things. A lot of people that worked hard could make $100,000 a year. And I was in awe of that. I'm like, man, that's what I want. So I took that job and I quickly stopped starving and I started working hard. But guess what? To get that job, I had to become what's called a meter reader. That means I went in people's backyards and took on their dogs. You guys know, some of you guys have your meters in your backyard. I'm the guy that would go in the backyard, read the meter, take on your dog. Yeah, the pit bulls, the big dogs, all of them. I had a little tennis ball and the end of a stick. That's the only thing between me and some of these dogs trying to eat me. And yes, I was bit twice during that job in 1 year. I still have the scars to show for it. I just won't show you right now. But in that moment, I was learning a lot. When I go back, I was back building into who was meant to become. I'm a big believer in destiny. I've always been a hard worker. I've always got out of bed and I have always attacked my day. I have always put in 10-hour days. If I didn't like a job, that I told you I had, 7 jobs in 5 years. I didn't like those jobs. Some of them required heavy licensing. I was a stockbroker, insurance. I went to work for a bank. I went to work for a credit union. I worked for other brokers. Big difference from working for yourself. But every night I'd come home and I was learning something because I wasn't satisfied. I wanted more out of my life. You need to understand, I'm not reading a script. This is coming off the top of my head, but I think someone needs to hear this. And I promise you, I'm getting to a point when I say get out of your own way. I learned what a success formula is for Rich Hanlin. Each person has their own success formula. I have people that are paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month to have a coach call them once a week and yell at them to tell them to get their lazy ass up and get to work. Hey, how about you save your money and once a week come on here and I will tell you that. So here, for all you people that need to save $5,000 a month, I'm going to tell you right now, you're in the right place. Get your lazy ass out of bed and get to work. This is a full-time job. It's not a part-time job. It does not work by osmosis where you sit on the couch playing, Guitar Hero with your son or daughter because it's their summer vacation and you need that quality time. And the loans are just going to fill up in your pipeline so that you can sit on your rear end. It's never worked like that for me, and I don't believe it's going to work very good for you. We're going to be doing a best of the best series for Xpert Home Lending. And I guarantee you that every one of these people, all 25 of them, will have one thing in common. I haven't even talked to them yet. I'll bet they get out of bed and they attack their day. They are not going to settle for failure. You say, Rich, you don't know, man. It's hard. Oh, I've been there. I've lived off credit cards. I've lived off credit cards to the tune of $40,000, $50,000 in debt before life turned around. I trust my ability to work my way out of things. I'm consistent and I attack every day. I will take the calls Monday through Sunday. This is not an 8 to 5 job. I have missed many birthdays. I've left on New Year's Day to show houses. I've used my license to the fullest capability. Real estate, loans. I have consulted people how to get through bankruptcy. I have consulted people how to have divorces. I'm not proud of all those things because I hate showing people how to get out of the hardships of life. But for some reason, God has blessed me with that gift by taking me through it himself. And I survived. So I guess I'm the person that gets asked all the questions. And I'm also the person that doesn't shy away from the questions because it is what it is. And it's made me who I am today. I am not embarrassed of where I've been. I am not embarrassed to tell people what I've gone through. I am not embarrassed to tell people that I've been lower than low and I had to get my ass up and I had to get out of my own way. I had to stop feeling sorry for myself and I had to persevere. I have never needed someone to tell me that. I have that drive inside of me. It drove me to become a good college baseball player. It drove me to get drafted by the Seattle Mariners. It drove me to want to open my own company. It drove me to get back into the business I tried to get away from because I'm thinking, man, that's hard. Life is hard. And if you're in an easy day, man, take note of it because tomorrow is probably going to have a hardship. If you're in the middle of a hardship, be happy because tomorrow is probably going to turn into an easy day. I got people walking by going, oh my God, Rich is getting on a rant in there. Yeah, I don't normally do this. But I'm seeing a lot of advice being given within our industry and it all sucks, to be honest with you. Hey, pay me a couple bucks and I'll show you how to do a YouTube channel. Hey, pay me a couple bucks and I'll show you how to do it. Come over to my brokerage and I'll show you why we're so successful. If you need a brokerage to make you successful, then you're in the wrong business. The only thing you get out of your brokerage is the ability to negotiate how much of the comp you get to keep for doing what you do best, because unless they're supplying you leads, unless they're bringing your loans, you're bringing them to the table, you deserve the comp. At least that's how I feel. I'm an originator, and this company was built by originators for originators. So I still originate. I still do real estate. I got real estate in California. I got real estate in Georgia. I do loans in 44 states. That's right. I'm licensed in 44 states. I think my name was on 280 deals last year. That's a lot. I have 5 different processing teams spread out between multiple time zones. I have incredible loan originators that I have helped me out because I can't be in one place, but for whatever reason, my licenses are needed and I jump in because I am a working broker. I have lots of arms to help me get my day-to-day done, but it all starts every day for me. And I'm just going to wear it on my sleeve. You figure it out for yourself, but here it is. Every morning before I get out of bed, I sit up and I let that blood kind of start running down. I get up at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go do about a 45-minute workout because that's about the only time of day that I'm going to be able to do that. And I start formulating in my head what I'm getting ready to do. All my life playing sports, you don't just go play. You need to get warmed up. You got to be ready to go. In baseball, I've always told my players, if you're the leadoff and you hit a triple, are you warm? Are you going to be able to beat that triple out? Or, I have people say, I warm up as I go. And I'm like, hell no. That doesn't work in life. You can't warm up as you go. You've got to hit your day every single day consistently if you want to get where you think you want to go. Look, if you're just looking to do one deal a month, some of you guys work just as hard at not getting business as you do as getting business. I don't know any different because I have always done the same thing. I get out of bed and I give it 8 to 10 hours a day. I don't make excuses. I don't allow anybody to tell me it can't be done. Hell, my whole life is a poster for what shouldn't have gotten done. I think there's a song called "The Roads That Go Nowhere." Well, there's a line there that says, I've done pretty damn good for going down all the roads that go to nowhere. I could tell you I am the underdog in the industry. I am the outlier. I am the ignorant fool from San Bernardino, California that for some reason said, I want more. And I'm proud that I'm from San Bernardino, California, because most of my friends have gone on to do great things. We are all the same. We are all, I'm just going to say it. I used to think I was middle class. I wasn't. Now, when I look back, I realize I was poor. And it just was, it was what it was. We had to use our imagination, and you had to want it. You had to get out of bed. You want to be a starter on the team, then get in there and knock someone's ass off. You had to go take it, and you had to perform. There was nothing given to you. I had friends around me that had stuff given to them. Hell, I was that person that I wasn't able to have a car because I had to afford the car. I couldn't afford a car. I worked, minimum wage was $4.25 an hour back then. Yeah, I'm old. By the way, if you wonder how old I am, I'm 56. I'll be 57 pretty soon. And I've been in this industry damn near 34 years. My successfulness says concentrate on buyers. There's always buyers. I stay in front of buyers. I stay in front of real estate agents. I take refis when they come. I don't shy away from the tough deals. If I can't do it, then nobody can do it. I want you to hear what I just said. If I can't do it, nobody can do it. I do not cherry pick the deals. When times are tough, I take tough deals, and I'm thankful for it. I'm very good with finances. I've been a stockbroker. I have sold annuities. I've sold life insurance. I've sold car insurance. I've been through a bankruptcy personally. And let's see, I've had a fight for my marriage in the middle of this industry. Raise your hand if you've been there. This isn't the best industry for consistency because finances lead to a lot of turmoil. You say, Rich, what does this have to do with anything? I'm just trying to drive home the point. I left one important thing out, and I thought maybe I shouldn't even bring this up, but it is what it is. I used to take my life and I'd put it in a box. And I would make all kinds of mistakes inside that box. I would try and do all these things inside that box, and I'd say, hey, Lord, I need you to come bless my box. I've screwed up all these things. I need you to come fix what's in my box. I had to change that way of thinking. I had to start saying, you know what? I'm putting limitations by living in this box. And I got sick of it. So I started saying, you know what? Before my feet hit the ground, I'm going to let the blood flow to my head, and I'm going to say, hey, you know what, God? I don't know what you got planned for me, Rich Hanlin, but let's do it. How about you be in control? How about you take me where you want to? I will follow this lane as long as you are leading me. And if I start to get off the path, you pull me back in. Otherwise, take me where you need me because I'm tired of doing it my way. I'm worn out. I'm tired. It's not working. And things started to change. One of those changes, I got out of my head that I'm going to lose all this money if I bring on a partnership. I'm going to lose all this money if I don't personally do all the work. I got a really good processor. Hell, I got 5 of them. I got some really good partners. I got 5 of those too, for a total of 6, counting me. And they're all really good at what they do. Matter of fact, I would say that they're some of the best at what they do, which allows me to be the best at what I do because I don't have to wear all the hats. I have some people that still say, hey, you do too much. And I'm like, well, let's see. I've got 6 different third-party agencies that help my team because it's cheaper for me to hire them and let them do what they do than for me to try and hire employees and teach them over a couple years' time. I can get instant satisfaction and results. People say, how do you do it with such a low amount? 450 loan originators, you're doing 400 plus loans a month, and you have less than, 6 owners total, and you have, 10 support staff? That's not possible. Even some of the auditors are questioning it, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're comparing me in the box. No, when I took the box down, I went out and got some of the best people for the money, people that can do 3 times the work of an average person, and they're very good at what they do. I went out and got the best partners that have very specific skill sets. And when you combine all that, you can move mountains, you can part seas. I guess I shouldn't use that. I shouldn't use those examples. Maybe I'm getting, believe me, we're not God. But I think you understand what I'm saying. I had somebody yesterday and I said, you know what? Why are you not taking on a partner? And they're like, I don't want to lose money by taking on a partner. And a partner could be a processing relationship. I think you're crazy based on the average loan amount in the U.S., and we do 44 states right now, our average loan amount, my loan officers are averaging right at about 200 basis points. And I see the money and I'm thinking, why are you so stingy that you can't give up $500, $600, $700, even $1,000 to get a high-end processor that can make you look like a rock star? And they're like, I can't even go without that $1,000. I'm like, no, I think you got it backwards. I think you can do without it, and you could do 20 times the business if you would just get out of your own way. I'm going to cut this off because I didn't want to go much longer than that. I'm going to do some follow-up. I'm going to get real specific on topics. And if you have a topic, just let me know. But I'm going to start letting you guys understand what my strengths are. I'm going to let you understand what my weaknesses are and how I overcome those weaknesses, how I've gotten to where I'm at. Sometimes people see me in the moment and they don't understand that I'm standing on the tip of an iceberg and what's down below me. And believe me, there's love, there's blood, there's sweat, there's tears, there's lack of family relationship because I'm working too hard. I've done all that just like most of you. We come to accept that that is the way this business works. And I'm not going to say I've got it perfect, but I'm going to say I'm a lot better than what I used to be. And if I can help any of you get out of your own way, then I've accomplished something. And I think that's where I'm not Joe Rogan. I don't have a podcast. I don't have the ability to change your life by just snapping a finger. It takes consistency every single day. It takes a mindset that says, I am not going to fail. Failure is not an option. For me, failure means learning. Do I fail? Absolutely. I fail a lot. But ask me how many times I failed, and then guess what? Eventually I got it right. And I have my success formula because I have failed so many times and I understand what works for me, that I stop doing the things that don't work. I don't waste my time there anymore. I have a lot of people say, hey, Rich, why don't we do this, this, and this? I'm like, because that doesn't work for me. You got to find your own way. I know some people that get business consistently and they do it a lot different than me. My energy, my success has come from the old habits of the school of hard knocks. I have been crushed many times. I have failed many times. To get business, I have given business away for free in hopes that I could get referrals. I have done whatever I had to do to help me exist through the hardest times. If you're always swinging for the fence, I don't swing for the fence. I've gotten really good at hitting singles. I can lay down a good bunt down either line. I can follow it up and move that runner over, and then I can take 2 chances with 1 out to move that runner from second to home. And hey, maybe you get a pass ball and they only got to move 90 feet. That's a baseball analogy, but it truly has meaning in my life. I understand that, and I am constantly moving my borrowers around that diamond. Some of them are in credit repair. Some of them are in divorce. Some of them are in bankruptcy, and I'm helping them through and navigating them around the bases. Call it whatever you want, but I get my people to the end zone. I get them to home plate, and they know it, and they respect me for it, and they keep coming back because they trust me. And I talk to them just like I'm talking to you. I have my borrowers, many of them become business relationship friendships. There's not too many people that I do loans for that don't come back to me. I get their business every single time. I get their family's business because I take care of them. They're not just a number. They're not just a loan. I personally can remember things about people. I go out of my way to make notes. My wife gets really mad. She goes, how can you remember all that? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a gift. I don't know, but I can remember things. I remember when every loan has a reason and people, what their stress is. Maybe I've heard it 100 times, but they might have a kid they're putting in college, and you just remember things. And when they call back 3 years later and you're saying, hey, John, did Melissa, how'd she do when she went over to Cal? Because I know you took out a lot of money to get her there. Oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. You know what? She's gone on to do this, this, and this. And we just pick up like it was yesterday. Can you do that? Do you keep good notes in your old files so that you can do that? Do you personalize your loans, or are they just a number to you? Because believe me, if they feel like a number, then they're going to respond to you with the way they feel, and anybody can take that person away from you. My customers get hit all the time, but guess what? No one's able to steal them because someone calls and said, man, we got this program. We can help you. They're like, cool. Let me call my loan person. Guess what? They call me and they say, Rich, is this true? Can I do this? And I'll be like, yeah, I have that program, but it doesn't work quite like that. But I also stay in front of my clients. I touch my clients, right? We talk about touching your clients through a CRM, through an email, staying in front of them. Do you send out something letting your borrowers know, your past borrowers know what their current values are? Do you pay attention to people that you put into MI? You'd be surprised. You could take a higher conventional rate if you could get somebody off of an FHA loan that you did 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago. You're like, oh, but the rate's higher. Yeah, the rate might be higher, but by the time you get the MI out of there, guess what? You might actually end up with a better loan. FHA is good to get people in houses, but it's a horrible long-term loan. Who wants to pay mortgage insurance for life, right? It doesn't fall off. So there's just little things you can do. There's some people, I'll start them on a 29-year term, a 28-year term, and say, no, I'm not taking you backwards. Not only will I save you $100, but I'm going to drop you and keep you on the same term. I'm not going to set you back. So I'm always thinking outside the box of the touch points, the hot points, because I've been doing it so long. I come in with some ideas. I don't let the borrower just tell me what they want to do. I listen and then I interpret it because they might be saying something completely different. And if you can't pick up on the differences, your goal is to take what they're giving you and find a way to meet it. But imagine if you could find a way to exceed it and add another thought process, another layer to that. Your competitors are just quoting rates. Your competitors, most of them work for a direct lender, and basically they take an application, they do a couple of numbers, and they throw it into the assembly line, and you never speak to them again. Some of you guys are from direct lenders. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's by design. They say, go get more loans. We're going to build this huge team. Yeah, you're going to pay for it, and we're going to charge you a higher rate because now we do have this team. We have all this board of directors, and everybody's got to get paid because we're all so smart. And by the way, we're going to throw in a couple, we got a divisional manager. We got a the West Coast manager over that divisional manager, right? They just keep stacking. The broker world, we don't need that, but you can still accomplish the same thing. Look, I'm going to be doing more of these. They're not perfect in nature. I don't know everything in the world, and I'm not sure I'm going to hit everybody, but I know this. Somebody out there needed to hear this today. I'm going to make these shorter. My goal is to get them down to about 10 minutes, but this first one out, I wanted just to add some validity of who I am. My name is Rich Hanlin. I've been a broker for about 34 years. I'm very proud of that. It has not been an easy 34 years. I've been through a lot of these types of markets, including the 2008 market. This last 2 years has sucked for a lot of people. Yes, have I made it through? Yes, because I saved for it. I saw it coming after 20 and 21. But I don't feel successful when I know that my loan originators are hurting. So I personalize that success based on their success, if that makes sense. Again, I'm only as strong as my weakest loan officer, and I've got some loan officers that are going through some tough situations, and my mind is always trying to figure out, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? So maybe it starts with just having a little bit of a cheerleading session, maybe whatever you want to call it. Some of you need some different wording. You need a little aggressive when I tell you get your lazy ass out of bed and have a plan and start attacking your day. The day, look, here's a great way to end this. Nobody's coming to save you. If you're waiting for somebody to come save you and change the trajectory of your life, you are going to be in for a world of pain. It falls on your shoulders. It's up to you to make a change. You're the adult. It's your life. If you fell and leave the industry, you just made the industry stronger because we got one less person to compete with. Don't let it be that way. When you understand that it rides on you, then you will need to do the extra that it's needed to get you from where you're at today to where you're trying to go. Right now, maybe it's just survival that you're trying to get to. Maybe you're under the survival mode and we're trying to get you back to equilibrium. That's okay. I've been there. I can help you get back to equilibrium. From there, to get you to rock star status, there's a lot of ways to get there, and you're going to have to find your success formula to get there. But it starts with finding the ability to survive in any market and understanding that no one's going to come save you. Maybe it'll make you angry enough and upset enough to say, you know what? It's on me. And I am good enough to do this. I'm good at what I do. I like this industry, and I'm not going to fail. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get knocked down. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Yes, that was from the Rocky movie, but man, it's about as good words as you can get. You keep getting up. You keep falling forward. Nobody can hit you hard enough that's going to keep you down if you don't allow it. Hey, my name's Rich Hanlin. Today's reminder is get out of your own way. If you like these conversations and you have certain topics you want me, I will answer any topic that you have. And I will do it in about 10 minutes or less. I will not keep these long. I appreciate everything that people do. I appreciate that we're all human. And guess what? There's hope for all of us. It really is. Do not give up. That's probably the biggest thing. You can do this. All right. This is Rich Hanlin, and I am signing off.